Hey, what's up, everyone? Is everyone here? I hope yes, because uh, hey, are we online? I have to check it out on my phone. Give me a second, please. Give me a second. I didn't know this. Yes, we're live. We're live. Perfect, perfect. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Online. I have to check it out. Yes, we're online. Perfect. That's very good. I have to tell you, I've been listening to the podcast here on Spotify. Okay? That's the one way. But I found out that it's also on YouTube with the video, which is pretty amazing. So the first part of this podcast and the second part of this podcast. Sorry, I'm very tired. It's pretty late. I've been listening to the Spotify right now. From this time, I will be doing only on YouTube. Okay, I want to see their reactions, their faces and expressions, and it's more live, if you understand me. So we will do from now on the reaction to the video. Okay, so let's go for the last part of the episode number 1.
For sure.
I've always said that not only,
Julie was talking about the pop culture.
You reflect pop culture, but this show ended up creating it, maybe unknowingly, but whether it was fashion or music or, even comic books became more popular, I feel like.
They were probably going to be more popular, but we were definitely, it definitely tapped into that as it was before it became sort of mainstream. And Alan Heinberg was a big part of that as well.
So the next thing is Jimmy's got nerves at the table, and then he cries in the bathroom stall, and Ryan is at the sink and he hears. I think that's like,
I remember
this
that
isn't
scene.
the perfect society behind the manicured walls or manicured lawns and gates. So he doesn't know what's going on, but Jimmy's having a full-on breakdown.
And again, that's a scene with no dialogue, really, and just you're seeing it as Ben seeing it, as Ryan seeing it, and seeing him kind of put the pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ryan's probably not quite sure what's going on there.
No, but he knows this Marissa character that he's kind of connected with has got more skeletons than he was aware of.
Then, Summer, you're inviting Ryan to the beach house and flirting with him. It was actually kind of more of a cute little vulnerable, hey, do you want to come to this party?
Yeah.
And then Ryan lies to Seth to get him to go.
And says that I invited both of them, right?
Yeah, which is sweet.
Yeah. See, Ryan was just looking out for his
and
new
they jump
brother.
in the back of a Jeep and away they go.
And away we go.
Yeah.
That was a cool car too. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
To a pretty epic party with now Ryan says, "Welcome to the dark side."
Yep. And Brody has a great improv line. Oh, hey, cocaine. Awesome. We played Missy Elliott.
Oh my gosh.
So many times that night. I feel like we shot it over multiple nights, that party.
It was 3 days.
I feel like
3
and
nights.
It was all night.
All
and
night.
It was the same Missy Elliott song on repeat for so much of it that I began to lose my mind.
Have you ever been able to listen to it? Which one is it? Do you know?
I do, but I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, it's a great song, but yeah, it's very triggering.
I hear you.
But you're showing, I have to say that rewatching this, I really looked at it and I went, I do remember some parties like that in my teen years down in Orange County. And we would go to Newport and you'd see the kids in the Porsches and the fancy cars. And
Right.
Yeah, it was
on the beach.
It was kind of
originally it was going to be a hotel suite, like where the fashion show was.
We did that in high school.
Yeah,
sure.
But then it took us to this beach house, and it presented a whole other range of opportunities.
You also get the whole opportunity to walk out onto the beach.
Get Summer in a bikini.
Well, she was always in a bikini. She could have been in the hotel in a bikini.
That was all Rachel, by the way. We'd script like jacket, sweater, and she was like, I have a vision for this scene.
I'm only
what
wearing
if I just wear a bikini?
bikini.
Yeah.
I'm so sure. But what's interesting about this party is that this is where you first learn like Luke's character too a little more, because he immediately
Cheating.
takes that girl out onto the beach. And she's like, "What about Marissa?" He's like, "What? It's all good." Or what does he say? He says
No
something
worries.
Like, yeah, no
No
worries.
worries.
Yeah, that was great.
No
That
worries.
line, no worries.
Yeah.
And he just
No
takes her
worries.
out, and then Seth's getting
And
drunk.
Ryan spots that.
Oh, Ryan clocks Luke taking her out. So
Mhm.
that's an important
But
moment.
right before that, you have your summer classic line of "I'm gonna play him."
Oh, I'm going to play him hot and cold. I still don't really know what that
Yeah.
means.
What do you mean you don't know what that means?
You're going to play him hot and cold.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
means
be
nice to
polite.
him.
I'm
and
gonna
then-
be-
I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
I just, I never really thought it through. But
Clearly.
that makes a lot of sense. Right. Hot and cold. And you're cold. Okay.
Just like, hey, what's up? And then
Yeah, I
ignore
get
you,
it.
and then ignore you
Yeah.
for a little while, and then,
Right.
yeah, come back. It's the
Yep.
classic
Never
move.
knew what it meant. So how I delivered it, I hope that made sense.
Thanks for. I mean, you could have asked. You
Yeah.
could have been like, "Excuse me, I don't understand this line." I've been like, "Really?"
I just went for it. That's more my style.
Yeah.
I don't ask questions.
Okay.
Then we jump to this completely different atmosphere of Jimmy with the dog, Dustin and Kirsten chatting.
And that's where you kind of really get that backstory that we were talking about at the beginning of the podcast, or that there's a dynamic between Jimmy and Kirsten, and then how Julie just kind of like, blows up their thing, the Froyo line, which was like, as we said, everything you needed to know about where Julie Cooper was coming from,
Yeah.
and that
It's
Jimmy
in one
Cooper
line.
was in suburban death getting his wife ice cream.
Isn't that the scene with Kelly and Tate where and he's like, they're not doing anything we didn't do. She's like, that's comforting, right? Is that
exactly.
scene? I always remember that moment with Kelly and being like, that was just delivered so good. Like, just
Delivered well.
delivered well. Shut up.
She has that. Seth has never been to a party. This is the first time he's been out. At least that's what I
Yeah.
took
And
from
boy,
it.
does he party.
Yeah, first night out, and she's right to be concerned. And you get the sense of like, oh, maybe Kirsten was a little bit of a partier back in the day, and what's the stuff with her and Jimmy all about? And then you cut to Seth, and he's like at the keg, and he's just not doing great, not
He's so
holding
funny.
his liquor well,
He's so good in that
walking
whole
into like a threesome
sequence. Yeah. The whole sequence.
Whatever happened to the dog?
I
He has
mean,
no idea, right?
Yeah, I just think shooting the dog. We didn't shoot the dog. I meant like having to have a dog.
Shooting the dog was the way to.
It was an old Yeller situation.
Oh my
with
God.
Dustin. No, I just think
awesome.
having a dog was hard, and maybe the location wasn't super dog friendly, and we just were like, do we
Right,
really
right.
need Dustin to tell
Dog
this story?
friendly.
Speaking of dogs,
Yeah,
That's
that
my
was
dog.
right on cue.
your dog was not happy.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not. I swear, I haven't replaced you. Then back at the party, Marissa and Ryan flirt. What do you think of Newport? I think I could get into less trouble where I'm from. Marissa says you have no idea.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Boy, was she right.
Mhm.
They're
Again,
funny.
that was the idea of like, you think this world that Ryan comes from is scary and dangerous and morally compromised. And really, this other world that looks like it's perfect and, as you said, the well manicured lawns and the gated community is actually far more treacherous, and the people there can be far more screwed up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing is Summer's wasted, tumbling into Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is
Seth
the
walks-
Chino. This is where
Yeah,
Chino
Seth
comes into
walks
play.
out, gets upset when
Chino.
he sees her
Who?
arms around him.
Mm-hmm.
I named my boat after her. Who are you? Ooh. Seth tells Ryan to go back to Chino. Summer then says,
Yeah, Chino. Ew.
Poor Seth. Summer doesn't even know who he is.
I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like such a
He named his
bitch.
boat after her, and she doesn't even know he exists.
No, well, hey, she was a little inebriated in that scene,
Right.
but
was
she still
that the
doesn't
first
know.
ooh out of Summer? Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe so.
And
I
First of
think she
many.
got
And this is
two
the-
in that little
Really
section.
wanted to make that her "What you talking about, Willis" catchphrase.
And then didn't you? You
Well,
tried to write a "What you talking about, Willis" kind of line, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you didn't deliver.
No, and then you missed it.
To this
it's like
day.
hot and cold. You like didn't get it.
No,
If you
I
just
did
asked a
get it.
simple question.
I did get it.
I think it was
just
literally
didn't
written
wanna
like,
go
"What
too
you talking
big."
about?" Oh, really? You didn't want to go too big?
Yeah, and now I've learned my lesson, as you know.
And now you
I
just-
go a little too big
Too
sometimes.
big. Yeah. Just overshooting the mark.
Yeah.
so Seth storms off and he starts getting pushed around by the polo players.
Yep. Nordland and
Ryan
Saunders,
comes
named
to
after
the-
two of McGee's friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Nordland.
Make sure you had these two guys who were from Newport who like took us on a tour of Newport and showed us around. And anyway, Nordland and Saunders. That's where they got their names from.
I always wondered how you got so familiar with Orange County. Like you really had to did some research, and again, having gone to school with those kids and spent some time down there with them and seeing it. And then a lot of it weirdly was also based on people I knew in Providence, so it's kind of a weird amalgam. Yeah.
That is
kind
weird.
of write what you know, but then right. They say right Jewish, cast Gentile. This was right East Coast, set West Coast. Is that a thing? Not a thing.
I don't know.
But anyway, so now we come to our Karate Kid homage.
On the beach, the brawl goes down.
And with a pretty famous, Ryan hits him first though and fights with Luke. And then we have our iconic.
Welcome to the OC, bitch.
That's right. Which is also where we get our name for our podcast from.
Is that where it came from?
Yeah. Welcome to.
Wow, you walked right into that one.
I did.
And that was just, again, going to SC, there were kids who would refer to Orange County as the OC, like it was like the LBC, like they were trying to make it sound
oh my gosh,
cooler.
That's funny.
And,
this was a big controversy.
It was. This was the controversy. The controversy, if you know what I mean.
Controversy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People in Orange County don't call it but then it's interesting. I could listen to the weather on the radio, and I'd hear broadcasters say, "So in the OC, it's warm and sunny." So it definitely caught on, and
people from Orange County were anti the show in the beginning because of that, because it was the OC. And like, we don't call it that. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I heard kids who were from there call it that.
Right.
I'm not saying you all call it that,
but now it is that.
And then it became the name of the show. Because there had been a movie, Orange County, that had come out like a year or so prior with Colin Hanks, who would appear.
Yes.
Would appear on the OC, and hopefully one day will appear on this podcast.
That's right.
Rumor has it. And then feeling like that came late, that line into the script, but I was sort of felt like we needed to write the name of the show into the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who better to deliver it?
Right.
Luke?
Yeah, it was perfect. I mean, that is I feel like that's the most famous line from the series. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the OC, bitch. This is how it's done.
This is how it's done in Orange County. Then the boys are back in the pool house drunk.
Seth had the time of his life.
The time of his life.
Yeah, having a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Was that Brody adding that?
I feel like that was some ad lib.
I don't remember. I'm sure there was some element of it. Yeah.
Those kicks. I thought it was funny and sweet. And you just see for the first time Seth, he's got somebody who's got his back, and Ryan's made such an impact. And that brother bond is just like solidified. Mm-hmm. Seth's got a whole new world. It's based in fairy tales, right?
It is. And then we get to see what a good friend Summer Roberts is. Just dropping her bestie off in the driveway.
That's right.
Yeah. Summer and Holly dropping off Marissa.
Just passed out, wasted on her doorstep. Can't find the keys. Well. See you
later.
later.
Home safe.
Yeah, she's here.
Leave her in the driveway. Don't want to wake the parents.
By the way, they're shit-faced in driving, which was
right.
So as a mother watching it, I'm like, these teens.
We don't know how much Holly had to drink.
Sure. Yes, she was the designated driver in a G-Wagon. I feel like
it resonated as a very realistic scene.
That's
was.
What teen girls did. It was definitely. I remember in college, girls being delivered to like the door of their sorority house. Not great. And then Ryan finds her.
Ryan sees Marissa and
talk about fairy tales,
right?
Talk about fairy tales, and you said, and I remember thinking this. He's going through her purse. He's going to get caught. This is going to be a problem. But it wasn't about that. It was about this guy rescuing this girl.
Yeah, we could have gone that way, but we actually wanted, and to have some degree of suspense of like the audience anticipating that this could happen. And once again, Ryan's good intentions were going to look like something that they weren't, but wanted the scene to be actually about this sort of like knight in shining armor, you know. And here's somebody who, no questions asked, is just going to pick this girl up. He's not there out of lewd intentions. He's not there to steal anything. He's just there to make sure that she has a soft pillow, to sleep it off on. Like he's just he
puts her in bed.
He's just noble.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Yeah,
Stephanie, I have to say, hated the sheets.
The color?
Because they're black.
Yeah, they are black.
And Stephanie was like, because she pays much more attention to stuff like that than I do.
Sure.
And
it's very masculine though. It's very boyish.
It is masculine, but I remember her saying they look like the death shrouds of Turan or something. Like she was just like, she was like, how did we land on like all black sheets? And how did I not catch it in the moment? And she was like, thought the scene would not work because of the black sheets.
It's funny. I did notice the black sheets when I watched it this time.
I didn't until we were in editing, and they were like, well,
what are you going to do?
So this Ryan carrying her becomes a pretty iconic as we go on through the series. This is going to repeat, and you have Maisie Star into dust.
Mazzy Star.
Mazzy. Okay, you guys, this is my weakness, music. So sorry.
Okay, we're here for you. We're here for you.
So next morning, Kirsten, not
so happy. Mm-hmm. And again, kind of right.
Yeah.
Seth's like still drunk. He's like, he got black eye. Like it's not great.
Not a good look.
Right.
Poor.
So she
Marissa's
confronts
gone.
Sandy.
Oh, right. Marissa's out of the bed. Yep.
She woke up and took off.
Yeah.
Oh, and Marissa's gone, yes. And Sandy comes home from surfing and
by the way,
she confronts
Peter
him.
really leaned into the surfing thing. The idea of this Brooklyn Jew with the surfboard under his arm and the wetsuit, like that was a super fun part of the character.
Didn't he say he like went out and surfed once or something to try to get into character?
Did he?
Yeah.
I would believe it.
Like once or twice, and he said, "Done this a few times,
Yeah,
and done."
I'm gonna act it.
I'm going to act it.
We're only gonna ever shoot him coming back from the beach anyway, so it'll be fine.
True.
I remember this as the scene that I read in when I first auditioned. So this is probably the Kirsten audition scene where she says,
Definitely was.
he has a family. He has a family.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy,
we compromise
right?
now while we do when we're older. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are older.
I don't think, you know what? I think she's disappointed, Kirsten. She really didn't want to kick him out, but this is like, sorry, done. I can't have this happening to Seth anymore.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So then she goes in to tell Ryan, but he's already packed and he's making bacon as a parting gesture.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
That's
he's
because I don't
making
know how to
breakfast.
make any breakfast. So the act of making breakfast seems like this kid's got gifts. He can make bacon.
Right.
Yeah. It's really sweet. And he's like, what does he says something like he always had to do the cooking?
Yeah.
Or whatever in
Again,
his house.
this idea that Ryan had to raise himself and couldn't depend on his parents.
Man.
Yeah.
Really
That's
sad.
That's-
Sweet.
So then Ryan goes to Seth. This is the first time we see Seth's room to tell him that he's got to go home, figure some stuff out.
E.T. phone home. I'll be right here. Sorry. Yeah. I was doing the E.T. Elliot thing. That's, again, part of that dynamic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time we see Seth's room, and by the stuff on the walls, you kind of realize what a cool kid Seth really is. Was some of the memorabilia yours and Stephanie's?
Probably some of the posters, and that room evolved, and then obviously Captain Oates came into that space, and that was an invention originally of Jane
Captain Oates
Espenson, who
is
was a writer
there.
who was only with us for a few episodes because she was on another show. And the first time that was written in the script, I think it was like episode 3. It was hilarious, and Captain Oates then stayed.
He sure did. He's here today.
He is.
Yeah.
Been
But he's out of
reunited.
reach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where is he?
He's back there.
Where is Captain Oates and Mrs. or
Oh, there he is.
Princess
He's
Sparkle.
He's
Sparkle.
with his
Sparkle.
lady. With his
Mhm.
lady, Princess Sparkle,
Right.
back there. So what are we up to?
Seth and Ryan saying goodbye.
Oh, right.
Honey and Moon by Joseph Arthur
Yeah.
plays.
Gosh, that brings back a time, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And I actually saw him perform at the Troubadour, and the opening act for him was Alexi Murdoch, who sang Orange Sky, and that's how that got itself into the later episode.
Wow.
But that song was written into the script, and when I was first starting to write the show and just listened to that song a lot and was like, however this show is going to go, all the story beats weren't worked out or whatever, but like, it's got to feel like this. It's got to feel like this song at the end.
Mhm.
Wow.
Do songs inspire you for scenes, or do scenes inspire music? Because music's very
Cuts both
important
ways.
in this show.
It goes both ways. I
Mhm.
mean, definitely, like again,
I
the Imogen
agree.
Heap
As a
hide and seek
musician.
song from
Oh,
season
yeah.
2. Not to get ahead of ourselves, but like with Alex Pitsabis, our music supervisor, sent it on a comp of different. Back then, she would send me CDs with a whole bunch of new songs on it, and heard that song and was like, I don't know where that's going to go, but like, can you just hold it and reserve it, and we'll figure it out for later in the season. And so it kind of goes both ways. Sometimes you're in search of the perfect song and the scene is written, and sometimes you hear a song and it can help you see the scene.
Were you listening to anything in particular when you wrote the pilot? Do you remember?
Joseph Arthur, Honey.
That was the one. That's what you just said.
Yeah, I did. Thanks for listening.
That's a beautiful.
I'll be here.
Yeah.
Well, you are responsible. I mean, talking about the music, so for a lot of somewhat unknown bands got a lot of exposure from this show,
Popularity.
based on your tastes, correct?
Yeah. I mean, it was stuff I was listening to. It was stuff that the cast was listening to. Like I said, Death Cab came from Brody, Bright Eyes. It was, stuff that Stephanie and I were into. Like, it was just all music that just felt like what was in our lives. It was helpful also because we didn't have all the money in the world for music in our music budget in the beginning. And then that evolved. I think by the end of season 1, like the Beastie Boys were premiering their new song on the show.
Right.
And
that's cool.
You too put a show.
U2
I remember at the end of the show.
They premiered a song on the show. And then obviously season 2 with the Bait Shop, we went nuts with music.
Yes.
Well, I got a little too much of like a kid in a candy store. But in the first season, so for audiences listening, there was no, Spotify. There was no iTunes. There was no Pandora. Like, there was the radio, which had gotten like incredibly consolidated in terms of how much music they would play, like the same 5 songs. There was MTV, which was playing a very different kind of music. And again, more sort of a consolidated thing. And so a lot of these bands we could get for less money because they were indie bands. And even if they had some qualms about being on a Fox teen soap, they were happy to have, some revenue. And what we found was there was this huge audience out there who was looking for this kind of music and just didn't have a place in that moment to get it, And so we were able to which was like right place, right time, right music. Obviously now all that, music is ubiquitous and you can get so much music, so much choice all the time.
And it helped me because I have downloaded lots of artists from the OC soundtrack. Perfect. Thank you, Josh, for this.
But back then you really didn't have a lot of other options. So the show then became a destination for discovering new music because that was just the only place you were going to get it.
Yeah.
And it was cool because that was all stuff that we were listening to, and it was super fun to be able to write it in. And the idea was the music was, it was not Orange County bands, which had its own scene, but music that would sort of illuminate the emotional lives of the characters.
Right. And that's like,
as opposed
Seth's
to traditional
changed.
teen soaps would probably just go to top 40 music for their shows.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, we are at the end scene. He's gone home. Sandy takes him to his home, and he enters his home to find
empty home.
Don's gone.
Mom's moved out.
Don's gone. Everything's
Come
gone.
on, kid.
Sandy
Let's go.
enters
So
and he
sad.
takes him back, or he leaves.
They leave.
And they leave. Sandy takes him, and you left the pilot open-ended. Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
That's kind
again,
of a bold,
that's not
bold
something
choice,
you traditionally do with TV pilots, network pilots. They're usually by the end of the show, you're supposed to know what the show is.
Right.
And I guess because Ryan had this time, you kind of knew when he was going back, even though it was this kind of cliffhanger and it wasn't like, oh, the show is just complete now. You knew you had a sense of when he went back, he was going to be facing Kirsten's skepticism, his rivalry with Luke, the Marissa love triangle, the Seth Ryan stuff, complicated by the Seth Summer, and if Summer's into Ryan piece of it, just Ryan as an outsider in this world, the parent triangle storylines, the fall of Jimmy Cooper, would Julie Cooper get her froyo on time? There was just a lot of things that were unexpected. So even though it was kind of an untraditional way to end the show, and it's more of what they call a premise pilot,
Right. Right.
It's still, hopefully we had told the audience what to expect. And we kind of designed the first 3 episodes as its own little mini story, its own little mini arc to get Ryan to become a Cohen and welcome to a life of paralyzing insecurity and self-doubt.
Is it fair to say that that outsiders are the prevalent theme?
Yes, that everybody feels like an outsider. in that world, even people who appear to be the ultimate insiders.
I don't know. Does Summer feel like an outsider?
Eventually.
Yes. Okay.
And she falls for the ultimate outsider.
That's
and then
true.
all of a sudden,
Then she's an outsider.
Yeah. And like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm like this guy.
Yeah.
This
Right.
Yeah. You kidding me?
We have some quiz questions for Josh. What are Ryan and Seth drinking while they ride on Seth's boat in the pilot?
What are they drinking?
Wow.
Yeah.
Ride on Seth's boat in the pilot.
Do.
Can I have a hint?
No.
It's not alcoholic.
No, I know.
It's of the juice variety.
Really? They had a drink on the boat?
They're on a large body of water,
Yes.
and that large body of water is called...
They're drinking Pacific Sun?
Yeah, that was good.
No, it's
Close.
Orange
Ocean
juice?
Spray
Oh, Ocean
cranberry
Spray.
juice.
By the way,
There you go.
which blew up this year. We should recut that scene to Fleetwood Mac's Dreams. And
Oh
it'll be
my
a whole
God.
Right.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
I guess
You
that was
just
cranberry.
knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is. They were drinking Ocean Spray cranberry juice.
Wow. We were on that early.
You were. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Next question. Which of these groups did not have a song on an episode of the OC?
Okay.
Beck, The Killers, Ben Folds, Gwen Stefani.
Ben Folds.
Yes, you got that correct. Well done, sir.
Whew.
Well done.
Whew.
Woohoo!
Nothing against Ben Folds. Just didn't work out.
You just couldn't afford him. Maybe.
We did a whole episode of Beck songs, so that I felt pretty confident.
You knew
Beck
that one?
episode, yeah, the mall episode was all Beck songs. It
Oh,
was
when
his
we
new
go
album.
when we play hockey in the mall.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was the whole thing was scored to his new album at that time.
I remember finding out about Jen and Brad that night while we were shooting in the mall.
What a big night for you.
It was a big night for me.
Is it time for some voicemails?
What was your favorite outfit that you wore, or like an iconic one?
Mindy, Josh.
Juicy jumpsuit.
Does something pop in? What was their favorite outfit?
Can we
Or an
deconstruct
iconic-
Ryan's choker?
Yeah, what was the deal with Ryan's choker? I want to know who made that choice and why.
I wish I don't remember. It felt like the bad boy leather.
I feel like that's
of the
so
time.
the opposite of the bat. Like I rewatching it now, it was so distracting that he had a choker on.
Maybe like George Lucas, we can go in and like CG and remove the choker.
Oh, that's
You know?
hysterical.
And the
Watching just on the fashion note, it feels like kids still, especially kind of the surf culture or Southern California culture, everyone still kind of dresses the same. It feels like.
And everything
I don't know,
comes back around.
especially Brody's clothing.
Mhm.
Hi, I have a question.
Oh.
How awesome is Josh Schwartz? And how lucky are you that you got to work with him? And how amazing of a person is he? And is he the greatest person you've ever met? Or like just one of the greatest people you've ever met? And will you tell him I said hi? And I really like his glasses.
Great question. Great question.
Who's that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. Guys, you want to answer? The greatest or one of the greatest?
Save that just for you.
Thank you. I can't believe I got through the line to be able to leave that message. Yeah. I mean, if
What?
That,
That was you
if
leaving
was
that
me,
message?
If that was me.
I'm just a
That
fan
was
of the
awesome.
glasses.
No, I mean,
We'll leave
we
it at
are
that.
here because of your creation and your creativity. And I genuinely thank you for the experience. It was really one of my favorite times in my life. So he's
Thank you.
a pretty
Me too.
cool dude.
Me too.
I appreciate
Yeah.
you coming here and taking your time to talk about this. This has really been awesome.
I feel like
Me
I'll be back.
too.
I feel like I'll be back.
Well, you
You're
should.
going to run out of guests at some point.
Hey,
And I remember
you're
why.
a two-parter. We'll do
Oh, yeah.
another one,
I'm
and
saying,
then we'll make
later,
it a two.
later. I'm not going to wear out my welcome. Just saying,
Yeah.
there's
And
more
Josh,
seasons.
I guess 18 years now, and I'm still, but I don't know what I'm going to say. Still on the daily with the Schwartz. I don't know,
It's true.
family. He's my brother,
Yep.
and that's just we're stuck together. So
Mm-hmm.
he will be back. He doesn't have a choice. We'll put it that way.
Yay.
Thank you.
Nice.
What warm words to go out on. He's like the gum on the bottom of my
He's
shoe.
like the annoying brother you can't shake.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm
no.
Urkel.
I love you,
That's
Schwartz.
cute.
You know
I
that.
love you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Follow, rate, and review Welcome to the OC Bitches wherever you listen to your podcasts. If you like to watch us, check it out on YouTube.
I have to applause. It was amazing. Oh, I have to. If it was in. Oh, sorry for the ad. If it was YouTube in 2008, I would definitely give you 5 stars. This podcast, this episode was very funny. It was entertaining for me the whole time. I really love it. I really love it, and I'm really looking forward to next episode. So I hope it will be soon. When it will be, I will be very happy, and I will definitely do another reaction, or I don't think it's big reaction video. It's more like watch with me or listen with me. So this style, if you don't mind, Rachel, Melinda, Josh, I hope you don't mind. Everyone, subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the OC Bitches. Subscribe to them and leave them a like. And I will be looking forward to you and the new episode next time. Have a great day, have a great night, and have a great everything what you want. And see you next time. Goodbye. Nescafex. Bye bye.